Do you feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I seen he brought that dude.
Obviously, he was the Uber star, and I was just up and coming. So, you know, yeah, it's gonna be a show. But he used that to just, you know, just threw me off, like, you know.
You're a coward. And I don't take nothing. You're a thief, you're a coward. Don't say you're a thief. Okay. You're a thief. In the office, man. You had a bunch of artists whose careers never went right with you, dog.
Diddy is currently facing serious scrutiny as his home was recently raided, stirring up a storm of allegations against him. Numerous voices have come forward speaking out about Diddy's alleged involvement in dark crimes. Now it appears even artists associated with Bad Boy Entertainment are stepping up, indicating their readiness to testify against him. But even before that, the apprehension of Keefe D sent shockwaves through the entire industry. With each new revelation, the case has grown increasingly intricate, leaving both the public and investigators bewildered. So now, hearing that there are whispers that several artists associated with the Bad Boy label may come forward to shed light on Diddy's alleged connection to the Tupac Shakur case, it only gets more intriguing.
Diddy made a lot of people mad and upset. And he may be losing some of his power.
Many are left wondering why these artists are reportedly willing to testify, potentially placing Diddy in significant jeopardy. Over the years since Diddy founded the Bad Boy record label, he seems to have a knack for turning his once loyal artists into adversaries. The motives behind their willingness to potentially harm him are numerous and compelling.
He took me to Puff. They went to high with each other. You know, like if I'd have knew Puff at that, if I'd have knew it would have boiled down to all this, you know, I should have knew better.
Speculation is rife, with some suggesting that it could be connected to the reported news of Suge Knight's intent to testify against Keefe D. This turn of events could potentially cast Diddy as the prime suspect. Reportedly, Suge Knight, the former music mogul and an eyewitness to Tupac Shakur's M, has recently broken his silence regarding the arrest of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a significant breakthrough in the 27-year-old cold case. The repercussions of this arrest have reverberated throughout the community, leaving many curious about Suge Knight's sentiments, given his presence in the car when Tupac was fatally shot.
And whatever the circumstances, if he had an involvement with anything, if he didn't have any involvement with anything.
In a recent phone call from his prison cell, the former CEO of Death Row Records, currently incarcerated, openly discussed his thoughts on the arrest and his potential cooperation in the trial. This revealing conversation was conducted by TMZ, the esteemed entertainment news outlet, providing valuable insights into Suge Knight's perspective on Keefe D's arrest and his possible role in the upcoming trial. During the conversation, Suge Knight stated, quote, "There was only 2 people in the car, and Pac's not gonna be able to tell the story. I ain't gonna tell the story." This revelation caused quite a commotion among the public, especially in light of previous claims that there were 4 individuals in the car with Tupac at the time of the shooting. According to the district attorney, Keefe D was purportedly in the car with his nephew, Orlando, during the tragic incident, with his nephew being considered the alleged shooter of Tupac. However, Suge Knight's account differs significantly from this narrative. He insists that there were only 2 individuals in the car on that fateful night and opted not to disclose additional details about the incident.
It was only 2 people in the car. And Pac not gonna tell the story. I ain't gonna tell the story, but I tell you this.
Furthermore, it is also being reported that Suge is not ready to testify. When questioned further about his reluctance, Knight elaborated on his stance, emphasizing that he would never willingly take the stand against anyone regardless of their involvement because he wouldn't wish a prison sentence on even his own worst adversary. He firmly asserted his commitment to not divulging any information regarding the incident, thereby indirectly distancing himself from Keefe D's statements and the ongoing developments in the case.
If you are called to testify in this case?
I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Why not?
All things considered, Knight's decision to abstain from testifying or cooperating doesn't come as a shock. With his expected release set for 2034, approximately 11 years down the road, safeguarding his reputation within the prison system becomes a paramount concern. Getting involved as a witness or cooperating in any way could potentially complicate his standing among fellow inmates. Given that he still has a substantial portion of his sentence ahead of him, it seems he's making a conscious choice to prioritize his long-term situation behind bars over any involvement in this high-profile case.
Well, number one, because I'm not going to get on the stand and testify on somebody for what?
Well, where there are speculations that he is protecting his reputation, there are also some rumors that if he will not testify against Keefe, it will cause trouble for Diddy because Suge is also not ready to accept that Orlando is involved in Tupac's M. He said, quote, "But I can tell you this, I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando because F he wasn't the S, it wasn't Anderson, so that's all I got to say about that part." Knight's remarks resonate with those of a witness who testified in the weeks preceding Keefe D's arrest, asserting that Orlando Anderson was not the S. According to this witness, during their testimony before a Las Vegas grand jury, it was DeAndre Big Dre Smith who allegedly fired the shots at Tupac. Smith was reportedly seated in the back seat of the car when the incident occurred. Detectives believe that Anderson occupied the seat next to him while Keefe D and another individual named Terrence Brown were seated in the front of the vehicle.
Along with Keefe D, the driver is a guy named Terrence Brown. They call him Bubble Up. Behind the driver is DeAndre Smith. He's in the left rear passenger seat.
However, Suge Knight's decision not to testify is fueling speculation among the public, with many now considering Diddy as a prominent remaining suspect. Tupac had previously alluded to Diddy's knowledge of another shooting, suggesting that Diddy might have been allegedly connected to Tupac's M as well. This development adds to the intrigue surrounding the case.
Puffy wanted half the door. And so there was just it started out as kind of just a money beef.
Whack 100 versus Diddy. Diddy's extensive list of enemies appears to be placing him in significant jeopardy as they appear ready to testify against him based on these speculations. The first individual reportedly willing to testify is Whack 100, a prominent hip-hop manager who has recently garnered substantial negative attention for controversial statements he made. Whack 100 is an American music record executive with a strong presence in the hip-hop industry, overseeing numerous record labels.
You know, blood is outnumbered everywhere you go.
Right.
But
Despite the controversy surrounding him, Whack 100 has managed to build an impressive career. While musicians and artists typically dominate headlines, Whack 100 has been making more frequent appearances in various media, shedding light on the man behind the music production.
I'm a YA baby, so I'm a firecracker, right?
Right.
So I jump up, tell them where I'm from. I'm the only one in there from the red side, right?
Whack 100 stirred controversy when he made a highly contentious statement regarding the tragic death of hip-hop star and rapper Nipsey Hussle. He remarked that Hussle had received the consequences he deserved. While this viewpoint might have found some agreement, it undeniably upset many devoted fans of Hussle who mourn his loss.
He took that and made that situation happen.
Right.
If it wasn't for Big U, y'all wouldn't know the Nipsey Hussle of today.
Whack 100 is no stranger to criticism for his outspoken nature, but that hasn't deterred him from freely sharing his opinions and providing explanations for his statements. Regarding his comments about Nipsey Hussle, he straightforwardly expressed the view that Hussle, despite his unfortunate passing, hadn't achieved legendary status. Whack 100's rationale behind this stance centered on the fact that Hussle had only released one album and hadn't produced the extensive body of work typically associated with artists defined as legends. He said, quote, "He wasn't. What's a legend? Define a legend. Let's keep it real. If Dr. Dre died right now, we'd say we lost a legend, right? Based upon what? Numbers, right? Body of work, right? How many albums did Nipsey drop? One album, right? This not no personal this is real While he did issue an apology at one point, Whack 100 remains resolute in standing by his words, maintaining that his perspective on what constitutes a musical legend remains unchanged. And now it seems like he has again used this particular power. It appears that Keefe D's recent arrest has also prompted Whack 100 to openly discuss the potential ramifications of this development, particularly in relation to Diddy. Whack 100 is not held back in expressing his views on the matter.
Keefe D did what?
He cooperated and told.
He told him what he did, right? Keefe D is going to attempt to get up there and say, I was just lying during the interview.
Mace versus Diddy. Another prominent figure who has expressed opposition towards Diddy is none other than the highly popular rapper Mace. In 1999, Mace, born Mason Betha, made a momentous decision to depart from Bad Boy Entertainment and establish Sane Ministries. After what he described as a profound spiritual awakening, he embraced the title of Minister Mace and embarked on a new journey centered around his faith and ministry. This transition marked a significant turning point in both his career and personal identity. Mace asserted that he felt he was leading people, including friends and youths down a detrimental path, and thus sought to align himself with his new profound spiritual calling. In fact, during the peak of his career following the success of his album Harlem World, Mase revealed this transformation to a radio interviewer. Quote, "I felt like I had amassed a great deal of wealth, yet I lacked a true sense of self. I realized I needed to pursue something beyond just the realm of hip-hop. However, there remains some uncertainty surrounding Mase's departure. It is noteworthy that Diddy, known for his shrewd business acumen, does not typically allow artists to easily sever their contracts. Mase was bound by a significant contractual agreement with Diddy, prompting speculation as to the true reasons behind his departure.
When I see the hurt and the pains of other people on Bad Boy, that motivates me to say something so I don't be deemed as a person who just made a bunch of money and turned a blind eye.
The rift between Mase and Diddy persisted despite Diddy's heartfelt speech at the Grammys. In contrast to many musicians who resonated with Diddy's sentiments about the lack of respect for hip-hop and black music at the Grammys, Mase expressed dissatisfaction with his treatment under Bad Boy's label head in a now-deleted Instagram post. In the post, Mase accused Diddy of unfair business practices, alleging that Diddy knowingly starved his artists and treated them unjustly, despite their contributions to the success of the iconic Bad Boy label. Quote, "Your past business practices knowingly has continued purposely starved your artist and been extremely unfair to the very same artist that helped you obtain that Icon Award on the iconic Bad Boy label." Furthermore, during an interview, Mase went on to reveal that he had never received payment for his contributions to Bad Boy's hit songs, despite being the sole creative force behind them. This revelation further fueled the tension between Mase and Diddy, highlighting the unresolved issues within their professional relationship.
The records, the beats, you ain't getting the money. You ain't getting the publishing, you ain't getting the respect, and I don't think you're like that. No.
Kim Porter M case. In a shocking turn of events, Mase reportedly made further allegations suggesting that Diddy had involvement in the deaths of Kim Porter and Tupac Shakur. Mase released a new song titled Oracle 2 Standing on Bodies, in which he directly takes aim at his former CEO and collaborator Sean Diddy Combs. Additionally, there are rumors circulating among the public that Kim Porter's death may have been misdiagnosed. Adding to the controversy, the first coroner involved in the case was found dead after disclosing his findings regarding Porter's passing. These allegations were brought to light by Tuffy News TV, stirring further intrigue and speculation surrounding the circumstances of Porter's demise.
I've been told that he was the head of the snake into the investigation of the passing of Kim Porter. And not only that, y'all, he was the one who initially found something problematic.
However, that wasn't the only revelation Tuffy had gleaned from his informants within the industry. According to Tuffy, he had received an email from one of his followers detailing Kim Porter's alleged struggle to reach her own doctor. This difficulty, as the email claimed, led her to make what was purportedly the most significant mistake of her life.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died.
According to sources, after fruitlessly waiting for her doctor's response, Kim Porter reportedly confided in the father of her daughters. He then directed her to another doctor of his choosing. Unfortunately, despite these efforts, they were unable to save her. Surprisingly, it's said that Kim had a sense of the gravity of her situation. Allegedly, she sent a group text to her close friends stating, "He got me." However, the phone was reportedly confiscated by the security team brought by Diddy when he arrived at Kim's house after her passing.
Kim was not found unresponsive in bed. She was discovered on the bathroom floor. If they found her in bed, then she was strategically placed there.
Eminem versus Diddy. Another big star, Eminem, also criticized Diddy for his alleged involvement in Tupac's M. He released a diss track and rapped, quote, "Kill shot, I will not fail. I'm with the doc still, but this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he's got skills. But Kells, the day you put out a hit's the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac K'd." Although the track features Eminem later admitting that he is just playing, it immediately stirred anger and controversy among some of the leading figures in the hip-hop community, and people started believing that Diddy has some dirt regarding Tupac's M. One person wrote, quote, "Diddy needs to be investigated and brought to justice. There's no way these people can fabricate all these stories. There's some truth to all this. The clock is ticking and it's just a matter of time." Now, this is the one long battle between Diddy and all these artists who were wronged by their label's founder and reportedly can also testify for his involvement in Tupac's M.